Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is August 21st, 2025. Today is Thursday, actually. I think I got it wrong yesterday. This would be the last of the morning shows for the week. For those that are interested in following along, I'm kind of going to go with Monday through Thursday, see you at breakfast. And then maybe I'll join you for a Friday afternoon happy tarot hour. And I kind of like that Sunday afternoon with the family idea. Again, welcome to the podcast. And if you would like to request a free reading, you can enter your request into the chat. And here I do a few throws at the very beginning of the show. I cover some information that is interesting to me, might be interesting to you viewers. And I want to say thank you to the viewers and a special thanks to the subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me and welcoming me into your home and into your life. I appreciate it very much. I don't take it for granted. All right, so first I want to go to the tarot cam because I'd like to start off with a one card throw. I had a theme in mind and I did some shuffling before we went live. So let's go to the tarot cam and check out what's going on. Okay, very good. I also see, by the way, I have friends in the chat. I want to thank Jordan very much for your greeting. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining me. It's nice to know I'm not talking to myself. So here you are. Here's a famous expression I would hear at school: liar, liar, pants on fire. And I know the tarot world knows what I'm talking about. As I said, I shuffled the cards so that I could save some time. And I'm going to go with the top card and see if the tarot world has a comment on what I had to say and I wrote on this paper. Oh, hello. Yes, Jordan, you're from Liz Cross's group. Again, so happy that you could join me. And I want to say thanks to my friend, Psychic Liz Cross. I've been smiling about her visit all week. Okay. Well, the King of Swords. You know, I just said liar, liar, pants on fire. And the tarot world throws back the most honest guy of all, the King of Swords. Let me get my glass and take a look. The King of Swords says head over heart, disciplined, truthful, honest, mental clarity, and authority. Okay. So again, this is one of the things that keeps me motivated throwing tarot cards, because this really feels like a dialogue between myself and the tarot world, the spirit world, wherever these messages are coming from. So I want to thank the tarot world for that. And then what I'm going to do now is do a 3-card throw because I want a 3-card throw for us all to go on together, right? Because we're in this together as I cover these subjects. So I'm inviting the tarot world to tell us where we're at. We'll throw a position card. You know, where are we at here as viewers of STARCARD Podcast? Okay, I didn't, well, I ought to just stop there, right? Look at what just popped out. It's a 3 of Pentacles. So wonderful. It's the teamwork card. It's the collaboration card. So I'll go along with that. Nevertheless, I'm gonna pursue it a little bit further. Looks like the tarot world can't wait to talk, right? You know, throwing cards out. Please show me and the group, the viewers here at STARCARD Podcast, what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear, especially if it's a message that we can carry with us into the weekend. Something that can put a little zip in our step. Please show us all what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. Thank you. We'll get started right away. So the position card, and then a card to represent the influence of where we're at in our position. And then one more, like for a path forward for us. Okay. I know it's pretty early, but I'm already having fun. This is how I want to start my day. Okay. So first off, it's the Hierophant. the learned man. So let's just jump right to it. Breakaway Ray, you're the person who was in the classroom for 33 years. A lot of your viewers are tuning in because they want to hear what you have to say. They want to be informed and they're ready to be entertained as well, right? So, okay, great. That's cool. Or we're studying, or the themes that we're talking about today have to do with society and what is socially acceptable. All those things are true. Of course, I know this because I drew up my notes for what I was going to talk about today. Okay, so next, what is influencing the Hierophant energy? Yay. Well, it's the podcast. This is the Four of Wands. This is the homecoming card. As I just kind of said, the cards are almost repeating what I said. You all tuned in to hear what I have to say as I guide the lesson today. All right. Well, what's the path forward? Sweet. It's the Justice card. So I'm just going to let the tarot world have the last say on that one. Well done, tarot world. Okay, let's put the cards away. I think I understand now why I woke up so early and I had no problem waking up. And it was like I almost couldn't wait to get to the computer today. All right, so there's some more coming, ladies and gentlemen. This is great. So before I look at the chat or anything, I want to tell you about what's in the description today. In the description, I added 2 videos. I'm introducing you, maybe, to a website, a YouTube channel called Brush Junkie. And I might not have this part correct, but I believe Brush Junkie was a channel started by a lady named Tracy Derwin. And she may have had a passion for cosmetics, hence the name Brush Junkie. But then when the Maui fires took place a year or so ago, she started looking into it herself. And she has on her program many excellent scientists. So I want to say that I highly recommend and endorse what she presents on her channel about fires and about the weather. I don't think that she's got anything wrong. I think she's observing exactly what we all need to see. So that's the Brush Junkie channel. The first one talks about Hurricane Erin. I'm not keeping up with the news, but I think Hurricane Erin is a current subject in the news right now. And then the other one I found this one a while back and I couldn't wait to share it with somebody. I'm glad I have STARCARD podcast to do that. It's called The Hidden History of Weather Control. And I'm not going to discuss it too much. You can watch it for yourself. A lot of these things in the description, if you want to find out more about, where's Breakaway Ray coming from? Where's he getting his ideas from? Well, a lot of this is from, this description list. Those are like some of my favorite tunes. That's my playlist, right? So I invite you to check those out. And then also reminds me, in the video section at STARCARD Podcast, I've done some polished, edited presentations like Breakaway Ray, Ambassador to the Mer People. And of course, my first magnum opus, the 5-chapter Breakaway Ray Saves Your DNA, which does feature 2 episodes with Psychic Liz Cross, or one episode. I think it's chapter 5, the last one. And what I intended to do was to record another one called Breakaway Ray versus Operation Popeye. I mentioned Operation Popeye. You can learn more about it from that link from the Brush Junkie I just told you about, The Hidden History of Weather Control. But the thing is, I never got around to it. I was about to do it, and then things shifted around for me. But if you really want to see my performance of Breakaway Ray versus Operation Popeye, go to the Typical Skeptic podcast and the Memorial Day Roast 2025. I invite you to do it on Rumble, by the way, because that actually helps Rob. That's where he can, get some pay for what he does for a living there. YouTube has demonetized Rob over at Typical Skeptic Podcast, I'm sorry to say. Nevertheless, if you go to Rumble and you go to Typical Skeptic Podcast and you look up the Memorial Day Roast, one of my presentations was Breakaway Ray versus Operation Popeye. So if you want to check out how I handle it and how I feel about that subject, there you go. So meanwhile, I want to go back now. I'm going to look at my notes. I want to talk again about at least one of the videos that we talked about this week. I mean, we talked about these old world exploration explorers, like at Old World Exploration, and Howdy McCoskey, the great Howdy McCoskey. Michelle Gibson, she's so industrious and prolific and scientific and observant. These are all great thinkers contributing to what we all know, because we're not getting this stuff in school, which kind of bugs me a little bit, because, you know, even at my lunch break, they do several videos about the fires of the 1800s. I taught social studies to children for 33 years, and I have a high school, a secondary credential to teach about social studies and social sciences and history. So even I don't understand why there's like almost no mention of the fires from the 1800s in most of the books I've ever seen. And yet it's something that's happened. Like I pointed to these other researchers, they've gone through these pictures and they've shown it to us. They've put together their own versions of a video history book. How did I go through 4 decades of education in an institution and not understand that there were fires like that across the United States and North America and around the world? So anyway, I have a question about that. So let's go to the tarot cam and let me check and see what Post-it notes I have for us. Oh, I want to welcome another visitor. I see another visitor in the chat. Crystal, hello, Crystal. And oh yay, Johanna, you've been here before. And yes, Johanna, I'm happy to give you a reading. Thank you. So let me check my notes very quick, make sure I got everything. All right, so I want to know, you know, were these fires of the 1800s for real? I mean, were they just fires and there were just fires everywhere, okay? Or was there something nefarious behind it? So that's where I want to start. And, you know, I'm almost working this like a flow chart, because if there was something nefarious behind it, I got a Post-it note already. You know, was this an attack? Did it come from the outside? Did it come from the inside? Was it a combination of the two? And then for sure, I want to know why. How come this stuff is not in the history books? What's going on? So, you know, I will pose the question and we'll see if the tarot world can respond with a thought-provoking answer. And another tie-in to the Brush Junkie podcast that I was just talking about is, you know, we're talking about the fires from the 1800s, the 1700s. Obviously, Brush Junkie is pointing out the stuff is still going on. The stuff is still going on. All right. I'm getting down my notes. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to start shuffling. All right. I want to thank the tarot world, who's clearly following along. They're co-writing my script for the podcast, and I want to thank them for the help. I can't do this by myself. So we were talking about the fires from the 19th century all around the world. Some cities had several fires, and we observed that there's still some odd fires going on around the world. It's like still a thing. I mean, it looks like a pattern, like a natural part, quote unquote natural part. We're supposed to presume it's like a natural part of life. I don't really believe that, but that's the way it looks. And also, how come those fires are not mentioned in all the books that I've looked at? I mean, I'm not just a textbook, school book guy. I've done some research on the outside, and it took a couple of YouTubers to tell me what was really going on. Special thanks to Howdy McCoskey. So could you please show us what we need to see? Please tell us what we need to hear. Were the fires just accidents and it was just a terrible part of history? Or was there something nefarious going on? Something underhanded? Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear about the fires of the 19th century, the 18th century, and even, the 21st century. But please show us what we need to see. Tell us what we need to hear. Were those fires just naturally occurring and it's part of life on Earth? Or was there something else going on? These things, natural fires, they were just kind of happening. It's just part of life here. Is that what was happening? Is there something nefarious going on? Is there a lot more to this that we don't see? What's going on? What's up with those fires? Is that how life's supposed to be? Is there something else going on that we need to know about? And I'm going to throw, looks like I'm going to throw a double because I want to pull the bottom card. And then this guy wanted to pop off too. So a double finale, a double encore, we'll call it. Let's see what happens. Hey, this is all for entertainment purposes only. I know I'm entertained. I hope I'm entertaining you. Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and following along. Here I go. So the first row, was these just natural fires? What's the deal? The Nine of Pentacles says, fruits of your labor. The Knight of Cups says, knight in shining armor. The Six of Swords says, being guided into calmer waters by a divine hand. The next is the Queen of Pentacles, who represents, let me get my glass, nurturing, providing financially, practical, a working parent. Something tells me the word practical is going to be important there. And the Sun card, all is well. You know, I mentioned a couple of times this week, I think the tarot world is challenging me, but let's face it, I asked a challenging question, right? I set the puzzle about myself. So were the fires that we were talking about natural? Well, through the fruits of our labor, which includes research and listening to people who do good research, we can be the knights in our own shining armor, our own knights in shining armor. We can, in cooperation with the spirit world, move into calmer waters as we think practically, and that will make it so that all is well. It tells me, I think, that the tarot world suggests that we need to keep on studying, and it's encouraging us to do so. I mean, we do need to pay attention to the people who are working hard and putting this research together, and we do need to use discernment. We have help from the spirit world to do that, but it will be heroic on our own parts if we do study and learn from these people. Things will end up being much more practical. Imagine a world where, you know, fire is not so rampant. Okay, let's now address the second question. Was there something going on? Is there something going on? It's being hidden. We don't know about it. Something nefarious. Let's see how the tarot world responds to that probe. It's the King of Swords again, who's all about telling the truth. Here comes my confirmation bias, right? I got to be careful. Ooh, it's the Ace of Cups. I'm hearing the ding, 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 like we're winning on a game show. Sweet. Here's the King of Wands, who says it's the big picture. And with this particular example, I feel like the tarot world is doing a slam dunk. They're telling us, yeah, that's the big picture. You know, you're getting it right. Whoa, the Magician. I let your own mind fill in the blanks there. Look at all the magic in this row with the Ace of Cups and the Magician there. We got two kings. I'm going to go to Vegas and play some poker. Two kings like that. All right. So here, how about that for an exclamation point? The Three of Cups, the celebration card. So again, I hear the game show alarms that we won. We are correct. I mean, the response here was really strong. Yeah, something was going on. Let's take a look at these other two cards and see what we're talking about here. Temperance. All right. Chill out, Breakaway Ray. All right. So you learned something. Let's not overreact. Let's be calm here. Oh, it's the Justice card. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've turned into a magical day of tarot. I'm having a lot of fun, obviously. So now I think the tarot world wants to tell us more about my history question. What's going on? Let's get these cards together. After I throw this one about the history, ladies and gentlemen, I will go into the chat and I will check and see if there's anyone who would like a reading. Otherwise, there's more I can share and more games I can play with the tarot cards, more lessons I can share. If you're new to tuning in and you haven't heard, I learned how to throw tarot cards in March, and I've been having fun, and I'm glad that you could join me. I make it part of my morning routine. I go on a hike in the morning, drink a bunch of coffee, turn on the camera, and then I deliver to my subscribers what they want. More Breakaway Ray. So thanks for joining me. Whoa. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. What's the deal? If there were so many fires, why is it so underemphasized in our history books? I mean, we could ask that about a lot of questions, various subjects. For example, just a quick aside, I mentioned this once before. I went to school in the 1970s and 1980s. That's how old I am. And the entire time, I never heard of a scientist called Nikola Tesla. But when I was a school teacher, I was introduced to him by some students. Good for you, young people. How come these stories of the fires are so underemphasized in our history books? What's the deal? Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. What's the deal? Is someone covering up the story on purpose? I mean, obviously that's what I think. I mean, if we all knew about the fires, we'd all be approaching everything with a different perspective. Did I just hear someone draw the Hanged Man card? I really like that card. Remember yesterday? That was fun. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear about the fires, especially the ones from the 1800s. What was going on? And how come that history is hidden from us? This is the history version. What's up with the history? How come we don't hear about this stuff? Well, I guess, on the news, there's always some other fires to talk about. I'm quite sure we don't even hear about most of the fires. I remember a couple of years ago, there were fires in Melbourne, Australia, and I didn't even know about it. I watched the news. I didn't even know there were fires, major fires in Melbourne, Australia. And I had to find out on the Typical Skeptic podcast from a guest on the show. I want to say hello to all our friends in Australia. We're all in this together. Hope you're having a good day or night or whatever time it is out there in Australia. Okay. Well, I know I got off talking to friends in Australia when I was throwing the cards, but I know the tarot world knows. I was asking about the history. How come this stuff's not in the history books? Let's see what it has to say. First of all, hey, it's the teamwork card again. 3 of Pentacles. That's right. We're in this together. We're studying this together. And this is only the beginning of what we're about to learn. Another way we could take this, I mean, this is obviously where we are studying this. Most people don't know about this stuff. I didn't know about this stuff, okay? But we're working on this together to find out what happened with the history, and we're only at the beginning. And it can also mean at the very beginning, some people worked together to hide this history. I say people, could have been people, could have been other kinds of beings who can think, some who are smarter than us. All right, here might be like the dynamic sentence that tells us what was going on. Well, temperance, balance. Ouch, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, the 3 of Swords represents heartache. Sorry, I wasn't clear about that. I'm happy to say, we're happy to see the World card. It's a lovely card. It suggests completion, totality. Wow. Check out the row we're turning cards for. Strength is next. And yeah, the 8 of Wands. This is quite a dynamic row. Let's check out and see what's going on. if we were going with, we're just starting to learn about this, we're only at the beginning, let's be balanced as we work through the pain. This makes me think of Desmond Tutu, Bishop Desmond Tutu. I'll get back to that in a minute, okay? But let's be balanced here, because there's going to be heartache when we find out what really happened, because the world was different. But let's be strong. Now is the time to be strong. Now is the time to be strong, like a parent who's trying to break up a fight between some children in the family, right? Some brothers are fighting, some sisters are fighting. You are the adult, you are the parent, you have to be calm. So let's go back to the Bishop Desmond Tutu idea. So Bishop Desmond Tutu was in South Africa. By the way, I'm not sure he was Catholic, so I don't want anyone to call me for preferences or whatever. I like what this man had to say, and it had to do with forgiveness. He was around during the days of the end of apartheid in South Africa, and rather than put on trial people who enabled apartheid and injustices, he said the most important thing is that they get the story out and that we forgive and move on. And we know, because they needed to hear the story about what was happening to fix what was going on in their country. They needed the information. And it's kind of like giving your witness immunity. I think people in the United States understand that from watching so many crime shows, right? So yeah, when the people come forward with this information, just like our journalists, they should all be protected, okay? So anyway, why are the history books leaving this stuff out? We're in the process of discovering that it's been left out, and we need to be strong, and we need to be mature and adult about it. Yeah, I'm not trying to make people panic, because what are we going to do? Well, what do we do when we find out, there's a lot of stuff missing from our history? We still got to go to work tomorrow. Okay, it's not going to change our world overnight. All right, but let's see what the last part of the read has to say about my question, my query. The Ace of Pentacles, that sounds very promising. I'm laughing because it's the last card, right? Let's see how the game ends. Hey, the game ends when we're being divinely guided into calmer waters. And that is true. So let me pause here and talk about Chris O'Connor and another secret space program experiencer and a giant in the field, James Rink. So I remember yesterday, I gave you a long list of secret space program experiencers, and somehow I left James Rink's name off the list. James Rink is the host of Super Soldier Talk, and he's been at this for a long, long time. And in fact, he's probably been at this for more than one lifetime. That's right, here at STARCARD Podcast, we're down with reincarnation, just letting you know. And Mr. Rink actually said this on his podcast himself, that he believes he's had a previous lifetime where he tried to explain to society that there's a secret space program. Anyway, I did see Chris O'Connor's most recent, if it was like in the last couple of weeks, appearance on James Rink's show. And what I liked about Chris O'Connor's comment was he was talking about how the world was going to change through the reincarnation cycle. That is to say, people who are service to self and, win at all costs, when those souls pass on, those souls will not be allowed to reincarnate on Earth. They'll be allowed to go to a different planet to have those kinds of experiences, because that's not where Earth is going. Earth is going towards the 4D. I'm going to say the Earth is going towards a more harmonious future in the age of Aquarius, but obviously it's going to require a lot of responsibility on our part. We have to understand where our thoughts and emotions are, and we have to be able to separate those from others and from artificial intelligence. And let's just pause there for that subject. So because we're studying this together, just having the conversation about what's up with our own history here on planet Earth, okay, it's the beginning of a profitable venture for all of us. And we're getting help. And that's why I got up this morning so early, and I had no problem. I mean, I've been wide awake. It's kind of an unusual thing for me. So anyway, happy to engage in this exercise. If this is what the spirit world wants me to do, I'm throwing cards. And thanks to all the subscribers who tune in for it. Great. So let's put these away. Thank you very much, Tarot World. And thank you very much, everybody, for being patient while I, well, pontificate, or I riff, if you will. Okay. Let's, I'm going to quickly look at the chat, see if there is, and then I'll lift the camera up and see you better eye to eye. And well, I see some, quite a few comments. I just see people participating. Okay, so I already said hi to Jordan and Crystal and Johanna, who wanted a reading. Okay. All right, hello, Puck Elf. Puck Elf's in the house. You're the best, Puck Elf. Thank you so much. And hello to you, Tiffany. Good to see you. I'm writing down Tiffany's name. You didn't ask for a reading yet. Oh, thank you, Puck Elf. I appreciate that positive feedback. A 1 card pull for Puck Elf. There we go. You got it. Yeah, thanks again, Puck Elf. That was really cool. Puck Elf would like to talk about dinosaurs. I might have to look into that. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, you, Puck Elf. All right, so you're the one who asked for one, and so did Johanna. I think I will do Puck Elf's 1 card throw first, and then we'll backtrack and go to Johanna. Thank you, Puck Elf. All right. Whoa. All right, please show Puck Elf what he needs to see. Let's show Puck Elf what he needs to hear. Hey, Puck Elf, I remember now our last reading. We were talking about a high priestess, I think. So cool deal. If I was so excellent and efficient with you, I should really apply that tarot trick to myself. But this is for Puck Elf. Let's show Puck Elf what he needs to see. Please tell Puck Elf what he needs to hear. Thank you. Show Puck Elf what he needs to see. Please show Puck Elf what he needs to hear. Thank you. Right on, Puck Elf. All right, Puck Elf, we'll give it a shot. You're the dude. Woo! You're on fire. Cool. Keep it going through the weekend. Sweet. Next up, Johanna. Please tell Johanna she's here. Thank you. Johanna, she needs to see. Please show Johanna she needs to hear. Look at these guys that popped out here, Johanna. 3 of Wands and the Page of Swords. You're working hard at some new idea. Keep at it, because that door is going to open. That opportunity is going to arise where you're going to get to say what you say. But let's finish up here. Please show Johanna what she needs to see. Please tell Johanna what she needs to hear. Thank you. Johanna. This is for Johanna. This is for Johanna. All right. Thanks, Johanna, for showing up for my live podcast. I really appreciate it. Let's throw some cards for you. Yay. I'm happy to throw 10 of Pentacles for you. That indicates wealth and a certain amount of completion. Let's keep this going here. Financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. I love it. Yay. Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I'm being silly. Is someone going to win the lottery? I don't know. That's pretty awesome. Wheel of Fortune, luck, destiny, fate. Let's get some action here. There's some kind of dynamic at play here. There's going to be, well, it'll be like a haiku poem. It's going to kind of like change at the end. Wow. How about the King of Pentacles? There's some extra coins in your pocket. The Ace of Wands. This is magic is in the air. I don't want change. I want these good feelings to keep going here. But I threw the change card. It's a death. There's some kind of transformation. Might have something to do with that fortune. Oh, well, this is the Three of Pentacles. Today's one of today's stars next to the King of Swords, right? The Three of Pentacles talks about collaboration. Let's read what it says on the card. Teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, building something. So there's evidently a lot of wealth, and there's going to be some kind of magical transformation where maybe you'll be able to share that wealth. Wealth can come in different forms. For example, I'm sharing my quote unquote wealth of knowledge. Okay. You might be in the same boat. You might have a lot that you can share. It could be money, that you could help family and friends with, but I'm guessing in, the way things are situated nowadays, most people wouldn't be able to say that. I know I can't. But nevertheless, you do have something to share. Could be love. I'm sure, Johanna, you are, young and filled with life, but I'm thinking of the love of a grandparent. Grandparents, they just keep giving that love away, and because they have so much to give. So maybe there's going to be a chance for you to behave like a grandparent and give something away to people who collaborate with you, not to give it away, right? But to share with your family, whoever your family is. Everyone's being so kind as I try to turn these pictures into stories. I mean, I don't know anybody. I've only been throwing cards since March, and I'm trying to be inspirational, and I'm trying to be entertaining. If I happen to be accurate, that's gravy. And also, I do appreciate it when people let me know how accurate I am. It helps me stay motivated. So thank you very much. Let's finish up with Johanna. So there's the Eight of Pentacles. We're hard at work at something. Diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, repetitive tasks. Look at how you start with Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. And then there's the Page of Swords. New ideas. Let's read what it says on the card. New ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, and mental energy. It even does say the word restless on there. Maybe we want our project to be finished right away, and that's why we're a little bit restless. But it does take time to do that stuff. I think I just shared something like that just happened to me. I thought that I had recorded Breakaway Ray versus Operation Popeye, but I haven't done that yet. But it's a good idea. I'm going to go for it. Johanna, I hope that was a helpful and fun reading. Thanks again for allowing me to read for you. It's good practice for me. And obviously, I enjoyed very much. Let's check and see if there's anyone else in the chat who'd like a reading. I'm only at 39 minutes, so I got plenty of time. That's fine too. And, it is the end of the week. You've heard me share a lot of ideas, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps you have some questions you'd like me to field. I don't mind, I don't have to throw a tarot card. If you want me to clarify something, you want me to expound on any ideas, now's a great time. And on Friday afternoon, if I do come out, for sure we're going to be a little less, it'll be Friday afternoon. We're going to take it easy. But for sure on the weekdays, I like coming to work because I got a lot of things on my mind, obviously. All right, let's look at that chat, Breakaway Ray. Yeah, right on, Puckel. Thank you again. Oh, I already read that comment. Oh, Crystal. Yes, you did. Thank you, Crystal. Thanks for helping me, Crystal. I missed someone's request yesterday, and I feel bad about that. So I'm glad you called my attention to it again, Crystal. Crystal's next. Got it. Yeah. Tiffany, thank you again for that reminder. Great. You're welcome, Johanna. Yes, let's take care of Crystal. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks for being patient. Please show us what Crystal needs to see. Please tell us what Crystal needs to hear. Please show us what Crystal needs to see. Please tell us what Crystal needs to hear. Please tell us what Crystal needs to hear. Please show us what Crystal needs to see in a fun way. Could you please show us what Crystal needs to see? Tell us what she needs to hear in a fun way. This is for Crystal. Oh, this is for Crystal. Please show us what Crystal needs to see. Please show us what Crystal needs to hear. This is for Crystal. Thanks for helping Crystal. Let's put a smile on Crystal's face. Big day ahead. For Crystal. Here we go. All right, Crystal. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I hope it's entertaining. Oh my goodness, I'm entertained because the Three of Pentacles keeps showing up all the time. Teamwork, collaboration. Oh, here's my buddy, the Hangman. Let's read what it says. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. So there's a lot of teamwork going on today, but perhaps you're in a situation with a team and it's time to evaluate or take another look at what's going on. Usually it's a restatement of what I dealt, but I did ask, what does Crystal need to see? She needs to see the team, needs to have another look. We're looking at something. So, okay, let's move on. Let's see what happens here. The Two of Pentacles indicates multiple priorities. All right. The King of Swords, another one of our stars today. Let's read what the King of Swords says. Head over heart, disciplined, truthful, honest, mental clarity, and authority. I mean, just if those two, if I was just going to read those two, I'd say, does someone have more than one truth? Does each individual have, their own perspective? Oh my goodness, it's the Justice card. And the Eight of Wands again. Wow. I'm going to go right down to these, and then I think that's going to help me put the story together here. Oh, wow. All right. Why does Breakaway Ray get excited over these cards? This is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, to me, I'll read to you what it says first, right? Two of Cups, unified love, partnerships, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. And we started with the Three of Pentacles, which talked about teamwork, right? But to me, also, the Two of Cups shows up sometimes when I hear it's like a direct message from the spirit world. It often shows up at the end of a message or at the beginning of a message, because to me, the Two of Cups looks like two people talking on the phone in a split screen, like on television. So the Two of Cups. Wow. And the Empress. The Empress reads, abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution and action. I think growth and evolution are involved here. So backing up now, this is for Crystal. Let's take another look at the world around us. Everybody has their own truth, and that can either deliver justice quickly in an astral sense that happens instantaneously, or justice, like in a 3D sense, can seem to fly away. I'm sure each of us in our personal lives and examining the public world can think of at least one person where you would say, how come that person does not see justice? That's the 3D look, right? But anyway, the message from the spirit world, from the tarot world, Crystal, is that it's all for our growth and evolution as a collective, perhaps. And then I know I've been reading this as if we're talking about everybody, a group, a family, a team. But maybe some of those ideas can be distilled down to your individual situation. Hey, Crystal, thank you very much for inviting me to read for you. I had a good time reading these cards and figuring out the story. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was fun for you, right? That was part of my goal. It was fun for me. All right, let's check out what's going on in the chat. See if there's anybody else interested in a reading. Anyone else who wants to say hi? I think I saw Julia Anchorhaven. Thank you, Julia. You're so nice when you show up. Thank you very much for showing up again. Let me catch up where I am. Crystal, you are so welcome. Thank you. Oh, I see NRA 00. Let me get my paper and pen here. Okay. Go. All right, NRA 00. Oh, and Julia wants one. Sure, Julia, plenty of time. All right, Puck Elf, that is very interesting about your mom. You're very welcome, Crystal. All right, sure, Tiffany. Yeah, there's time for you. All right. So I've got this group, NRA 00, Julia, and Tiffany. Okay, let's set the mouse aside and bust the cards out. This is for NRA 00. Okay, and I just happened to read Puck Elf's note, and I think that's pretty cool, Puck Elf. And it worked out well today. It was awesome today. All right, but this is for NRA 00. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear to help NRA 00. Is there a special message for NRA 00? Please show us what NRA 00 needs to see. Please tell us what NRA 00 needs to hear. Thank you. Thank you for the help. Thank you for all the fun messages today. The fun, helpful messages. This is for NRA 00. Please show us what NRA 00 needs to see. Please tell us what NRA 00 needs to hear. NRA 00. This is for NRA 00. NRA 00. Grace and ease. NRA 00. NRA 00. Hey, NRA 00. Thanks for inviting me to read. This looks like a fun story already. All right, this is for NRA 00. This is for entertainment purposes only. That seems to be the main purpose because we're here having fun. Next up. Ooh, I said we're having fun. It's the 7 of Swords. Something's hidden. Somebody sneaking around. NRA 00. Card number 7. Should I repeat that? NRA 007. Something's hidden. Someone's like a master spy. All All right. The King of Swords says, you were right. So, we can apply it in two different directions. Either Breakaway Ray was right about something being hidden, or, of course, NRA 00, you were the one that was right about something. Let's find out what's going on over here. Hey, it's the Page of Wands, the little manifester. He has a total perspective, limitless perspective. He can see over the pyramids. He can see what's coming. Wow. The Ace of Swords. That would be like one of those weapons that Q gave you before you went on your mission. Some kind of a hidden tool that helps you in the nick of time. But let's read what it says on the Ace of Swords. Mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, new conflict, surgery. You're going to be precisely manifesting something. And you're going to get recognized for it. You'll probably make a movie about it, maybe a series of movies starring Sean Connery and other great actors. This is the Six of Wands. It represents public recognition. Hey, it's the it's the Judgment card, where you exchange energies that no longer serve for newer energies, brought forth by the universe to enhance your life. I was, of course, sorry to see Roger Moore go, but I welcome Pierce Brosnan in the role. I'm just telling jokes to myself, aren't I? Which is what I do on STARCARD podcast, while I get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. And I'm going to go ahead and read the star card. Hope, calm, faith, purpose, renewal, spirituality, fortune, good omen, and rejuvenation. I hope all of those words apply to you. But I also like the calm part, because certainly NRA 00, you're calm in every situation, and that's when you seem to thrive. And I'm so happy that we closed on this card. It's the Four of Wands again. It's the homecoming card. And the homecoming card reads, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, and homecoming. So very nice ending to your story today, NRA 00. Thanks for letting me do this fun reading. These are quite exciting cards we're tossing here. Next up, it's going to be Julia Akerhaven. I feel like I've done a lot of readings for Julia, like in my life. The person I've done the most readings for outside of people in my own life, in the real world down here, Julia has to be way up there because she visits so many of my appearances, whether it's here at STARCARD or over at Typical Skeptic Podcast. I feel like I'm going to learn about Julia a lot with the tarot cards. I don't want to forget to mention, I did kind of mention it in passing yesterday, that I've been on Julia's podcast, and it was a wonderful experience. Julia brings out the very best in her guests, and there's like no time wasted. There's always information that's helpful about your health and wellness and interesting stories. Congratulations to you, Julia Akerhaven. I hope everyone gives her channel a checking out. So, but this is for Julia, our friend Julia. I was thinking about the Mersey River this morning on my hike, and I remember my visit to Liverpool. Back in the days when they had newspapers, there would be someone on the corner shouting, "Echo, Echo, Echo," because that was the name of the newspaper, the Echo. But this is for Julia. Please show us what Julia needs to see. Please tell us what Julia needs to hear. It looks like we're staying in Great Britain. We've gone from the British spy theme. I'm going to stay in England. Whoops. Please show us what Julia needs to see. Please tell us what Julia needs to hear. Please show us what Julia needs to see. Please tell us what Julia needs to hear. Thank you. okay. This is for Julia. Learning more about Julia, our friend Julia. Here we go, Julia. The Hierophant. I just said we're learning more about our friend Julia. The Hierophant, the learned man. And the King of Wands. We want to get the big picture on what's up with Julia, or we're about to introduce to Julia what the big picture is for her. Yeah, what does she need to see? Julia, you're not surprised to see the High Priestess. We've talked about this before. You are the High Priestess. So look, it recapitulated what my intention was. Let's learn more about Julia. Judgment. We're exchanging energies that no longer serve for new, wonderful energies, like the healing that you're going through with your foot, right? Every day it gets a little bit better. For example, there's magic in the air with this judgment. You have some new positive magic coming your way. I mean, you'll make it positive. It's magic. And in that department, you're quite strong, and the universe wouldn't send it your way if it didn't think you were strong enough to handle it. I wish you luck, but I don't think you need it. I mean, I get the Three of Wands idea. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. You're prepared. Here comes the opportunity. Here comes your chance in the big leagues. All right, the Ten of Wands, completing a lot of work. Four of Swords, taking a break. And then the Ten of Pentacles, ka-ching. Wealth and long-term success. I think simple message, don't forget to give yourself a break. I know you're an industrious person. Be industrious about scheduling your recreation. And thanks for inviting me to be part of your recreation, Julia. Thanks again for letting me read for you. Okay, after Julia, it was Tiffany. All right, Tiffany. Thanks for letting me read for you, Tiffany. Gee, I only read about you yesterday. That was pretty exciting. You had a lot of fun cards. This is for Tiffany. Thanks to Tiffany for showing up for the live podcast. Can we please have a helpful, fun message for Tiffany? Please show us what Tiffany needs to see. Please tell us what Tiffany needs to hear. Please show us what Tiffany needs to see. Please tell us what Tiffany needs to hear. Thank you. Hey, Tiffany, I remember on Rob's show, you mentioned how you enjoyed that picture of me with the long hair. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you go into the video section at STARCARD Podcast, you'll see a lot more of that picture that I'm talking about. But this is for Tiffany. Thanks to Tiffany. This is for Tiffany. This is for Tiffany. This is for Tiffany. I wanted to get that bottom card. All right. There's a nice spread. Let's check it out. Let's have some fun. The Two of Wands. Let's read what it says, and then I'll elaborate. So the Two of Wands, planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans. Well, I know we were talking about your vacation yesterday. I mean, in my mind, that's what I think is happening. I don't know if you're taking a vacation. Next, I better go through the cards first here because it's getting fun already. The Five of Wands, competition, rivalry, conflict, disagreement, strife and tension. I think there's a conflict. I mean, just going with a vacation plan thing could be like a schedule conflict. It could be something simple like that, and who knows if I'm even just throwing cards and making stuff up, right? Everybody, I mean, these just could be random cards. I know you and I don't believe that. That's why you're still watching. But anyway, let's find out what the rest of this sentence says. All right, it's my friend, the Page of Wands. A lot of wands. All right, Page of Wands, inspiration, ideas, discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, and freedom. I mean, it may not be, as I say, the dynamics of a vacation planning, but it has a dynamic that you can use like an analogy. You're making plans. There's going to be a little bit of conflict. This guy looks like he's going on vacation. He's talking about being free, have a free spirit and having freedom. And, during vacation, we experience a lot of limitless potential. We can stay up all night if we want to. We can eat what we want. We can wear whatever we want. We don't have to dress up for work. I don't know if people still do that anymore. Okay, let's go to the next sentence, Tiffany. All right. I'm going to say there's a spirit guide watching over things. This is the high priestess. This could very well represent you and your knowledge and your understanding of the spirit world. Maybe this is your higher self we're talking about. Turn some cards here. Let's see what's going on. Wow, this card keeps showing up, huh? It's the Judgment card. Looks like we're all undergoing some growth today. The Judgment card reads, Judgment, rebirth, inner calling. Ooh, maybe inner calling is what it is. A new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. Some kind of inner calling. There seems to be a tie. Did I read about the high priestess? Intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. That's a nice character reference, by the way. Ooh, the Moon card, which is all about the subconscious. Look, and the beginning and the end of that sentence has to do with the subconscious. Okay. Illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. All right, there's something magical going on. You're a magical person yourself. I'm sure you already knew that, and so did all your friends. Let's go to the last sentence. I'm having fun. So even though you have magical powers, you didn't get there, you weren't born with them. Perhaps, you had to work at it. You had to work at developing and cultivating your intuition. And I always like this picture because I remember my grandfather had a garden in his backyard. He had 3 of them. And, looking back, he was so smart and was so wonderful. We had so many good meals from the food in that garden. But check out this guy. He's like cultivating his garden and is making all kinds of coin, right? Let's read what it says on the 7 of Pentacles. Long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, sustainable results, and investment. So let's go through these cards and see what the dynamic looks like. Hey, everybody. You all saw me shuffle the cards. It's the 3 of Pentacles again. We're all a team, and Tiffany is definitely a team player. This is like a highlight show. Here comes the 4 of Wands again. There's a homecoming. There's a celebration. All right. What a nice row of cards here for Tiffany. Here is the Page of Pentacles. So let's check this out. The Page of Pentacles reads, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence. You really know how to build a team and build relationships. And, you're going to cultivate relationships with the right people where they will actually exchange and interact and build something bigger by combining energies with you. So you're at the very beginning of something very promising, some kind of promising adventure. These were a lot of fun cards to read. Thanks a lot for requesting that reading. Okay, we are past an hour. I'll check the chat. I'm not sure how many more readings I can do, but it sure is fun. I'm sure having a lot of fun with everybody here. Thank you. So let's get that mouse and check it. So there are a lot of notes. I'm going to go back and read a lot of them later. I'm going to try to find anyone who's got a request. All right, way to go, Tiffany. Yeah, that's right, Julia. Thank you. I dressed up for you guys. Oh, wow, Tiffany. Cool. Good luck with that, Tiffany. Well, thank you, Tiffany. All right. So let's come back up. Well, I've had a wonderful morning. You've all helped me get set for a wonderful day. So I really appreciate you coming out to say hi. And there's a chance I might come out tomorrow afternoon, but no matter what time I decide to come out and throw tarot cards, I'll be posting like an hour in advance, between 60 and 90 minutes ahead of time, just to let you know I'm getting ready to come out. So one more time to give you the schedule. It'll be like Monday through Thursday in the morning like this. And if it happens on a Friday, it'll be a Friday afternoon and a Sunday afternoon. I don't plan to come out on a Saturday, but that doesn't mean I can't. Nevertheless, it's been a lot of fun. I sure appreciate everyone's participation and positive comments to each other. And keep on sharing those positive comments with the people in your real world. Don't forget to tell the people around you how much you love them and how much you appreciate them. So thank you very much. Have a good one, everybody.